Welcome back to Bearapy Sessions Podcast, episode 17, the final episode of the regular season, but we get to keep going. We get to keep talking about the playoffs, and the regular season didn't end on the note that we wanted, that Ben Johnson wanted, that the team wanted, with a loss to the Lions. We'll touch on that briefly, but the bulk of this episode is going to be a playoff preview, because we have a home playoff game for the first time in a long time. Chris, what do you got?
Do you remember the last game of the regular season in 2006, the year the Bears went to the Super Bowl?
No. No, I do not.
Nobody does. You probably remember every other game that year, right? The
Yeah.
2006 Bears. The last game of the regular season was against a Packer team that was not going to the playoffs, and was Brett Favre, like, kind of at the end. They played on New Year's Eve at Soldier Field on Sunday Night Football. It might have even been the last game of the regular season. It was before they like flex games out. So the
Yep.
game was meaningless. And the Bears, for whatever reason, decided to play a bunch of their starters, and they got the crap beat out of them. Like, they lost. I'll pull up the score right now. Um, Bears Packers New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it didn't matter, right?
It was 26-7. The Bears went down like 20-0 in the first half, and it was weird because all week everybody was talking about how we're not going to rest the starters, we're going to kill the Packers, we're going to go into the postseason strong. And this is at a time when the top two seeds got buys and they were like really valuable. The Bears got the crap beat out of them, and then after the game, Rex Grossman famously went to the microphone, to the podium, and said that they lost because they were all had a big New Year's Eve party that night they were worried about. And everybody was convinced, like, I don't know if you remember this, they were off for 2 weeks. Everybody was convinced they would lose in the first round because of it. Right. And it was just this weird, meaningless game. And it's really what Sunday felt like. I was not into the game at all. Nick and I were coaching a youth football indoor team during it. We were going score to score with a bunch of second graders.
Yeah, it was like the 49ers Bears shootout.
Yeah, it really was. I was like monitoring the score and things, and then I could tell just from watching the game on my phone in between plays with youth football players that they just weren't into it. And then we get home, and then the second half kicks in, and it ends up being what it's been the whole season, where they're unstoppable in the second half because they're going for it on fourth down and every time, and Caleb has four downs on every set. At the end of it, they get the pick. They don't make the play. Ben Johnson should have gone for it, and they caught him on the air,
Right.
saying I should have gone for it.
4th and 5.
Because in that moment, if you don't get it, you would have gotten the ball back, and it was a tie game. And he should have known that he probably wasn't going to stop them, right?
Right.
They're Nick and I argued all week if they should rest their starters or play them. Nick said they should play their guys. I wanted them to rest their starters. The reason I wanted to rest their starters was because the Packers rested their starters, because the Eagles rested their starters. A lot of these other guys did it, and these are teams that have been in the playoffs that kind of know what they're doing. But also, like, the possibility that we would get a short week, which we have. So this game is on a short week. You played all of your guys 70 snaps, and now the Packers rested their starters. So you actually don't have any advantage on this game. It used to be the 2 seed got you a bye, and now you get almost
Right.
no advantage. Nick, I think the Bears are an underdog, correct?
The line's been moving. It's been going. It's right around -1 on both sides. I've seen it go both ways. Last I looked, it was -1 Bears or -1.5 Bears. But really quick, we're not gonna relitigate this argument, but I stand by my position. I'm right. Chris is wrong. The process was sound. The 2 seed, Chris is right. The 2 seed doesn't have as much value as it used to have, but it still has significant value. And if your long-term goal is to move forward, advance, and ultimately get to a Super Bowl, the 2 seed has great value. The 2 seed provides 2 home games in a row. Yes, you have to win the first round, and we're going to get to that preview in a second. Hold on. And it's also about a mentality. Ben Johnson made that clear in his post-game remarks. He said, we play football. We don't rest. We don't relax. We play football. It's a mentality that you want to breed into your team. And also, your argument about the Packers and Eagles, they're in different positions. The Packers were already locked in. They couldn't advance. They couldn't do anything different. The Eagles were also in a different position. They had to get help from the Bears, and they had to win. So the Bears controlled their own destiny. I rest my case, Your Honor.
I told you in leading up the most annoying possible outcome would that be the Bears play their starters, lose to the Lions, and still get the 2 seed. So nothing is won or lost, and all you did was risk health of your players for nothing. And ultimately, you come out relatively healthy. C.J. Gardner-Johnson loses 2 points on his IQ. He was a little wobbly at that. To me, the actual biggest argument is that if you look at the end of these games, you have a 23-year-old throwing to a bunch of 21-year-olds, and every play will still help
Correct.
those guys develop. And you are
Correct.
going into the playoffs now with a bunch of guys who've never been there, that not only haven't been there, but haven't even played all that many snaps in the damn league, right? So all of that development helps. So I teased something you earlier. There's something about Caleb Williams, and we'll talk about in the second half here, that I wanted to bring up that I've waited all year to bring up. Nick, of last year and this year, the combined body of work, Caleb Williams has put together the 2 back-to-back finest seasons of the history of the organization in his first 2 years. Would you agree with that?
Agreed.
So this year, Caleb Williams ends up with 3,900 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and then on the ground, another 400 some yards and 3 touchdowns. So he ends up with a total of 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, and only 7 turnovers. That is by far the finest season in the history of the Chicago Bears. Caleb?
Good job.
Where those rank in the league is, yeah, he didn't get 4,000, but he finished 7 out of like 40 qualifying quarterbacks in yardage total. 7 in yardage, 6 touchdowns. He is a top 10 quarterback, and he's pretty close to top 5. They're going to be guys, if you kind of look at the guys above him on the list, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are in their 40s, 30s. One of them is going to be in their 40s, right? This is going to be a top 5 quarterback within his rookie contract, because it's not only him, but it's also the guys around him kind of coming out, right?
Right.
But Nick, of those kind of stats, so he's got now 47 touchdowns and like 17 picks or something over 2 years. What is the most impressive stat to you that Caleb has put up in these 2 years? Because I have mine by far.
There's a couple that stand out, but fourth quarter comebacks was just off the charts.
Absolutely.
Off the charts this year. He led the league. I think it was 6 or 7. That one stands out. The clutch factor. The improvement. The other one that stands out to me is the improvement in the sack numbers. So
Absolutely, that's really big. Yeah.
Astronomical. I mean, he cut it down by almost it's down like a third of what it was.
Yeah.
Last year. I think he had 68 last year, and he had 24 or 26. Something people are not talking about, and then I'll let you get to your stat. Drake May is leading the league in passing. He's taking a ton of sacks, a ton.
Function. That's the offense is asking him to stand in.
Yeah.
And do it. So he's awesome to watch. We'll get to that.
But still, yeah, go ahead. What's your stat?
But give me your singular most impressive stat. If you had to have one number, what would it be?
I think I said it. I think it's got to be the fourth quarter comebacks.
So 7, I think 6, right?
Yeah.
If you combine even last year. So to me, that number is 34. 34, 34. 34 games, 34 starts.
Oh, yeah.
No Bear quarterback does that. I've waited all year. To me, the most impressive thing that he did last year was start every game, right? And finish every game. Dan Bernstein, may he rest in peace, famously said, like, you should always pay attention to quarterbacks at the Bears sign or draft because all Bear quarterbacks play, right? Nick, can you remember, I mean, how often do guys actually make 17 or 16 full season starts for this team? It's almost never. And to do it in back-to-back seasons. So in 09, I think Cutler did it in 09. He didn't do it in 10. He didn't do it in 11. He didn't do it in 12. Sure as hell didn't do it in 13. 14, he got benched. 15, he might have gotten close. And then 16, he only made it like 3 games, right? And that's the actual best quarterback in team history. Ends up being somewhat fragile. Mitch never got through. Mitch was either getting hurt, he hurt his shoulder, or he was getting benched.
Right.
You know, Fields,
Hurt a lot. Fields was hurt.
Rex, famously star-crossed, right? So year 2, he tears his ACL in game 2. Year 3, breaks his ankle in the preseason. In 06, I believe Rex started every game, actually, whether that was good or bad. And then 07, he's benched right away for Brian Greasy, never to truly return. Kyle Lorton, in his limited time as a full guy, was missing games. I went to a game in 2008 that Kyle Lorton had a high ankle sprain, and they had to bring Rex Grossman off the bench for for the first time in 2 years against the Titans. These are lost to history. But that is the most impressive thing that Caleb has done, is to play the ball he does and to stay healthy.
Yep.
Is an incredible thing. And it's why part of the reason the Bears were never getting 4,000-yard passing isn't because they were all terrible, which is part of it. It's because these guys are getting hurt and going down all the time. They were all playing 9, 10, 12 games. That's impossible to get in that, right? So that is by far the most impressive accomplishment for the regular season. Whenever this thing ends, we'll go through a full recap grading each position. But to me, the most important thing that Caleb Williams has brought to this team in this city is that he is the guy, and he answers the bell every week. I told Nick earlier this morning, but this show's delayed because I was on a business trip. I have a new job at a big electronics firm, so I was at their headquarters in the week, and it's a foreign company, right? So I'm kind of one of the few Americans walking around, and I'm saying I'm from Chicago, and they all know Caleb Williams, which is cool, right? Because nobody knew who Trubisky was, even in like Iowa.
Right. Right.
So good on him, man. Really impressed by that. And I'm ready to turn the page on this game, Nick. Are you ready to turn the page? Because the Lions, frankly, aren't worth talking about. They didn't make the playoffs, Nick. This is a playoff podcast.
That's right. Playoffs only.
Nick, Saturday night, are you going to be there?
I'll be there. Yes, sir.
Am I going to be there?
You were invited, but you could not go, and so you're going to miss out. So I went to the next person down the line.
Is he 3 feet tall, and does he love the Rams?
No, it's not my son, and my son no longer loves the Rams. He is a diehard Bears fan now, for the record. It is a good buddy of mine who lives in Chicago, and you're going to miss out, my friend.
I will be going to my in-laws' family Christmas that's done every January, and I knew I didn't really have a shot. I still asked my wife, and she gave it about 4 seconds. And I'm going to be like really acting neurodivergent at this party watching this game. So, I mean, nobody's going to have a good time with me around it. But here we go. Saturday night, Prime TV. If you don't have Amazon, I've seen some people freaking out about it. It will be on Fox. Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. My initial thought of this game, Nick, is part of the reason I hated playing your starters is there's something I really don't like about this matchup, and it's this. You've had a much better season than the Packers did. You just have, right? You've won the division. You've gotten yourself out of a decade cycle of futility. However, if you lose this game to the Packers, it all goes away. Season
I disagree.
Becomes.
Okay. I disagree.
Go ahead.
See, I've thought about this, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's a topic that's going around sports radio, the Score, ESPN 1000. They're talking about it. And is the season a success if you lose this game? I think the answer is easily yes. Now, the problem is we measure it because of the opponent. If the opponent was, say, the 49ers Saturday, and you lose, I don't think the common public, their reaction is going to be the same.
Be a thing.
Right? So you have to look at this in terms of expectations. And the other thing that this season has taught me is you have to kind of distance yourself from the rivalry stuff a little bit. No, you can embrace it.
Why you do it?
You embrace it, but it can't cloud your objective measurement of what the season was and is. And if you go from 5-11 or whatever, 5-12, and you go to 11-6 the following year, you win the division. You've already beaten the Packers once. I'm not saying I don't want to win on Saturday. I want to win more
That
than
was
anything.
worth it.
That was worth it. That win was incredible. You've accomplished a lot already. You've built a foundation for next year. Would it suck? It would absolutely suck. Would it cloud the season? Yes, it would. Does it mean the season was a failure? No.
Nick, how exposed to Packer fans are you? How many do you deal with in
Oh,
your
I
daily
deal with
life?
a lot. Some of my closest friends, unfortunately, are Packers fans.
Ah,
One of my best friends from
we have.
college, Trent,
Okay.
I'm looking at you, bud.
Yeah. Was he trying to get a picture of
Suck it.
George McCaskey?
No, you've met two of the Packers fans. You have not met my buddy Trent, who I'm calling out right now.
I live amongst these people. My godfather, Mike Freeman, what's up? He's a Packer fan, right? I'm in a group chat with 12 of them. They have like just the most horrific opinions of the world and football and sports or whatever. So I'm in the group chat to monitor them
Yep.
and to just kind of know what the other side's doing and stuff like that. Man, it would really be brutal. And that's the thing. And I wonder, in my brain, to me, they have like nothing to lose, right? They're hurt, whatever. Like, there is smoke out there about LaFleur being fired if they lose this game, which I
Yep.
would be. Oh yeah, please do that, Green Bay. That would rock. Yeah, do that. Um, but what I feel about this game is really kind of weird. Is that the Packers are favored, right? And if I had to bet on this game with other people's money, right, I wouldn't bet on the Bears. I just wouldn't. It would be a stupid bet by history, by everything. Like to me, if they play this game 100 times, the Packers probably win 55, 56, 57 of them. Okay. What's weird about it is I think the Bears have much better shot to win in the second round. I think the
Right.
Packers kind of
Right.
weirdly have a better shot in this game than we do, just based on the history and the matchup and everything. But I think the Bears actually have a much better shot to actually keep going. Like, and
Right.
that's what you kind of worry about is this team. I really see a scenario where they beat us and then get the living crap beat out of them next week. You know,
Right.
and I do think that if the Bears can actually get through this, then it's possible that there's a little bit of a run. But I just have this big roadblock in front of me here at this game. It's like it's this game. I have this weird, and if I felt a little bit like that in 18, that if you win this one, maybe you win 2 or 3, but you got to get this one right. And I'm not. Go ahead.
No, I agree with that. I think those are all good points, and I feel the same way. One thing I'll just say to kind of tie in the last game, I know we're done with the Lions. The Lions are dead to us. But to tie in that game with where we're going.
Losers. Yeah.
Losers. Playoffs only. I
Playoff
in a
podcast.
way, it's gonna sound weird, but in a way I'm not completely pissed off that they lost that game because if you see Ben Johnson was pissed. He was pissed. And if you look at his press conference yesterday, the dude hasn't slept. The dude is a mad scientist in the lab right now, cooking up something nasty for the Packers. He is determined. After that game, apparently in the locker room, he closed the doors and he told the guys, if you are not ready and planning on playing for 4 or 5 more weeks,
Yeah, Loveland said that right.
get out of here. Don't
Yeah.
come back in on Monday. He is pissed. The players are pissed. And you know what? Given their home record, I like the probabilities, knock on wood, but I like the odds of not losing 2 home games in a row, given how they have been playing at home. I'll just leave it there.
One thing about if this Packer team is constructed in attacking this Bears team on both sides of the ball, almost exactly like the Lions. With the Lions injuries and just where they're at, these are 2 extremely similar teams in the way those quarterbacks play. They could not stop Jared Goff, so they're going to have to figure out something on defense. So let's get into the game and the matchups here real quick, all right?
Okay.
So let's kind of just look up, and we're going to reference Pro Football Focus, PFF, talk about it every week. One of the really neat things they have is they will heat map the lineups and like where they match up. So there's 2 matchups to this game: the Bears offense versus the Packers defense, and the Bears defense versus the Packers offense. So the premier matchup in this game is the Bear offense against the Packer defense. So as of right now, going into the playoffs, every single player on the Bears offense is graded with a green color next to his name. There's number scores and color scores. Blue is elite, green is very good, and then yellow is replacement level to average, orange is below average, red is bad. Right? In years recent, the Bears would be littered with yellow and red guys and might have a handful of green. The entire offense is green for the Bears. So the Bears have very right now, not close, the highest rated offensive line in the NFL. Wright, Jackson, Dahlman, and Thuney are all playing at elite levels for their position. And right now, Trapillo, Nick, is coming in at a 70 score, which for a rookie is damn near elite. He's coming in as a functional left tackle. So this is a really good offensive line. Colson Loveland is ranked as the sixth best tight end in the entire NFL and the highest graded player on the Bears offense at 81, which is incredibly good. Odunze's back. He's at 70. Burden is at 79, which is also, I think he's the second highest rated rookie in the league. The two highest rated rookies in the league are Loveland and Burden. And actually on offense, Trapillo is right there. The lowest rated player on the Bear offense is DJ Moore. And he took actually a big jump this week when he dogged that interception in the second half. Swift comes in at a rating of 81. So he's coming in at a really good score for running back. And Caleb Williams at 75. I've never seen a Bear with that score. So what you have here is an offense without defined weakness. The worst rated player on the team is the highest paid player in the team. We'll get to that in the offseason. But this is a really good unit. Now, the Packers' best unit right now is their defense, okay? So we're going to look at them in nickel. Where the Bears have a really significant advantage is the offensive line versus the Packers' defensive line. The Packers are coming in with their score of their 4 down linemen, so they play a 4-3 front and then heavily in nickel. So it's a guy named Edna Gabere. I don't know him. He wears Jordan 11s. He's yellow. He's 63. He's 73rd rated. Carl Brooks is like a defensive end that kick in. Lucas Van Ness was a first-round pick from 2 or 3 years ago. He's currently dating Cole Kmet's sister. He's average. Yeah, he's below average. Their premier player is Rashawn Gary. He's their highest paid player. He was the number 1 high school player in the country for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. He's been paid multiple times. He's coming in as a 52nd rated edge, and I believe he was actually at some point being benched over the past couple of weeks over like effort concerns. Wow. So if you're going to win this game, you need to beat the living shit out of that unit. They signed a couple like nose like tackles. They signed a couple like 330-pound run stuffers off the street the last couple of years. That is by far their weakest unit. Now, when you get into their back seven, this is better. The safeties are really good. So Xavier McKinney comes over from the New York Giants as a free agent. He's one of the more accomplished safeties in the league. And then they have a young guy, Evan Williams, who's really good in the run game. He was missing in the last game. And then their 2 linebackers are Edrin Cooper, who was a high second-round pick. Very good off-the-ball linebacker, but you can run right at him. He's the guy that Monangai ran through his face in Lambeau. And then
chipped his helmet.
Walker. Yeah, Quay Walker is a high second-round pick out of those Georgia championship teams. Very athletic, but again, these are run-and-chase guys. These aren't thumpers. And then in the secondary, you're looking at Kayshawn Nixon, who we know, and I would love to roast that guy.
Yep, we already did it once.
Carrington Valentine, who won't be on their team next year. And then their nickel is Javon Bullard, who's like a safety corner hybrid. Also, they drafted a lot of Georgia guys. They drafted him. They drafted Walker. They drafted Devontae Wyatt, who's out. And then I believe, right? Go ahead.
Bullard, just a quick injury note. Bullard is limited. He's been limited the last 2 days in practice, so he may or may not play. Maybe they'll squeeze him in. But go ahead. Who else do they have?
You're probably looking at Diggs.
In the nickel slot?
No, he'll be outside only. And
yeah,
that's going to be a matchup. He'll be matched up with Rome.
That's advantage Rome, right?
Yeah, so this is, you have to score on these guys. And depending on what Jordan Love shows up and the conditions, you have to score on them repeatedly. The Bears are not going to win this game 16-13. If the Bears win this game, they're going to score 30 points. They're going to have to.
Agreed.
The only other way that this game is won in the 20s or low scoring game is that you're able to right away run the ball and keep the ball away from them, right? If you're able to grind them in long drives and limit possessions in this game. One thing, the Bears offense is really explosive, but some of the raw points haven't been there because they're limiting the amount of possessions in these games with long drives and going for it constantly.
Yeah.
If you get a game where there's only 8 possessions, that may be a lower score. The first Bear-Packer game, the Bears had 2 possessions in the first half, and the third one was only 30 seconds long because the half ran out. So that is where the Bears have their advantage. Now we'll flip it to defense, and we're going to put the Packers in 11, so 3 wide receivers, which is their base look, and then we're going to put the Bears in nickel because they'll most likely be in that for most of the game. So offensively, the Packers come out with a really banged up offensive line. So left tackle to right guard, they're all below average. None of these guys, Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks is a highly paid free agent guard from the 49ers in Notre Dame, and he's not playing well. Sean Ryan, below average. Anthony Belton, I don't know who a lot of these guys are. Their best player is Zach Tom at right tackle, who's coming in with an 83 grade. For reference, that's actually a higher grade than right. He's really good. And he's going to be the guy that is going to be going up against Montez Sweat. So unless they move Sweat around, which they don't typically do, you need your other defensive lineman. You need Dexter. You need Booker, Dom Rob. These guys have to kick ass against a weak offensive line. This is for the first time that I can ever remember that the Bears have better lines than the Packers do. Jordan Love is ranked as an 88.5. He's the 5th highest rated quarterback in the league. That is the biggest problem in playing them. He is scoring off the charts when he's playing, and he's played well against us, right? Jacobs coming in as the 5th highest running back. So they're higher rated us at both running back spots. Christian Watson's coming in as a top 10 receiver, 86. So running back, quarterback, receiver, they have elite graded guys. And then Reed and Dobbs are kind of lower 70s, which are kind of where the Bears guys are. So you have to attack this offensive line. The defensive line has to beat them. It's the only way they're going to be able to stop them. Where the Bears are grading out, Sweat is coming in at 70. He's their highest rated defensive lineman, the 42nd rated edge. Now he's put up 10 sacks, but on a down-to-down basis, he's not grading that well. Dexter is not grading well. He's at a 57, the 72nd defensive tackle out of 130.
He's got 6 sacks, though.
It's true, but those are raw stats. They're not counting the down-to-down effectiveness, right?
Right.
It's like they're not stopping people. Jarrett's scoring worse. Jarrett's a 78th, Booker's 74. They're matched up directly with guys rated just not as well as them. So really this game's going to be decided is if the Bears' less accomplished defensive linemen can beat up the Packers' less accomplished offensive linemen. At the secondary, Nahshon is the highest rated secondary player, but he's only at 48. So he's taking the ball away, but they're throwing all over him in between that.
Right.
Jalen Johnson's coming in at 72. He's not healthy. His change of direction isn't what it needs to be.
Nope.
CJ Gardner-Johnson's rated as the 85th nickel guy, and he's not covering well in man. You're going to have to play zone, and you're going to have to get there with 4.
Kyler Gordon.
Okay.
I'm sure you're getting to Kyler Gordon.
He's not.
But
even
he's
going to
play.
List, but go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
He's going to play. Kyler Gordon's going to play.
What do you think we'll get from him?
I don't know, but it's got to be better than CJ in the slot against some of these speed guys. I know he's not going to be 100%. But the numbers show, and I don't know that Kyler's been 100% at all this season. The Bears are 3-0, and their defensive efficiency is way higher, way better, twice as good when Kyler's on the field. They're 3-0 this year. They've only given up, I think, an average of 18 or 19 points when Kyler's on the field. And they've got, I think, 6 turnovers when he's on the field. So he makes an impact in the middle of the field.
He's unique for them. The way he plays is he's really good in the slot in the run game, and weirdly as a pass rusher. He's really good blitzer from the slot, and he's really good in outside run. So he allows them to play smaller but not be chewed up by the run. We'll see how healthy he is. And then, the other guys we got to talk about is Tyreek. He's young and he's healthy, and none of these guys are playing all that well above him. Like, he needs to get on the field, and if not, then there's something up, right?
Yeah.
Edwards and Edmonds are both coming in ranked green. Edwards is a little bit of a problem in that he can't run.
Yeah.
Their teams are throwing all over on him, and Edmonds is still kind of working his way back. Brisker is being torched in coverage. He brings an edge in the run game and a violence in the passing game, but he can't cover. The best defensive player by far you've had all year is Kevin Byard. He's coming in as a 14th graded safety, which is interesting because he has so many picks, but he's giving up yardage. So this team cannot win a Super Bowl this year with this defense. They need 3 or 4 guys to come in here in the offseason. So the question comes, can this defense get hot for a month and get back to like turnovers, right? Can you get a bunch of can you force turnovers in bunches? It's kind of their calling card and their ability to move forward here. They're not going to be able to line up and stop guys.
Let me ask you this, and I agree with that. Is there any scenario, and you've been studying the packages, DA's packages, is there a scenario where they go dime heavy in this game? I know that risks the run defense, but is there a scenario where they go dime, they lean into some more dime?
So who are you taking off the field?
You got to take a linebacker off, don't you?
Yeah, so you would take Edwards off.
Yeah, right.
So you'd be playing
You
CJ
play Tyreek
and Kyler.
or Tyreek and Kyler. CJ might not play. He's got a concussion.
So you're only doing that if you can control the run with your front four and with Kyler Gordon, and they haven't been able to do it at all. Andrew, you'd have to shoot Andrew Billings up with like the hardest core HGH and cocaine before the game to do that. And you're also against Josh Jacobs, who is a 240-pound running back, right? Oh man, I don't know. Like your shot in this is on defense. Your shot against him is 2. One is that this offensive line is overwhelmed, right? Is that you get huge games from Booker and Sweat that they're able to rush the passer without blitzing. You can't blitz these guys. They did it in the first game and they got torched, right? So DA has to choose to try to get pressure with 4. So you need Booker to have the game of his life in the playoffs, and Sweat too. Dexter, they need to step up and do it. The other is that Jordan Love will throw you the ball. And Jordan Love is known.
Right.
If that Jordan Love shows up and you take advantage and you get a few, that's it. But on a down-to-down basis, they're not going to stop him.
He also, for what it's worth, he has missed 2.5 games. Mm-hmm. There may be a slight rust factor. I'm not trying to overemphasize that, but there may be a slight rust or timing factor with his receivers. This offense, and you know more about this than I do, but this offense is all timing based, right? He's throwing to spots. He's throwing to designated areas.
It's West Coast. It's LaFleur comes from McVay and Shanahan, right? So it's going to be that offense is zone running game and then play action and boot, right? And then it's pure progression. So he's reading 1-2. Which is a problem a little bit with Watson being back because Watson is fast and we don't have guys that Brisker can't run, Byard can't run, and so if they get smoked and they get their back broken, it's going to be Watson downfield running by your guys. So the way that you defend that is you rush the passer, right? The defensive line they have to stop the run and rush the passer, and they haven't done it in a while.
What if you
go ahead?
What if you use a dime package sometimes, and you blitz Kyler out of the dime, so that you still have an extra pass defender in the nickel slot, and you're blitzing Kyler out of dime.
The Packers play exclusively in 11. They sometimes play in 12, so they have a bunch of tight ends. Luke Musgrave is their top tight end now, and he's actually their number 2 tight end because Tucker Kraft is out, but Luke Musgrave was like a 2nd-round pick. So they're in 11, right? So that's 1 tight end, 3 receivers. So if you're in dime, that's a mismatch just personnel wise. That means Kyler Gordon has to be the best nickelback in the world coming off of a season he hasn't really played. Like if he's healthy, yeah, like maybe. The other problem with the just dime thing is that your two best players are your linebackers, right? You're taking them off. You're taking Edwards off the field essentially for Tyreek or CJ. And Edwards is a captain. He's been there, right? He's also the green dot.
Yeah.
Like you actually might be better off doing the opposite and playing base with DeMarco, who's played really well, and going heavy, right? And
Interesting.
then really stopping the run and just being
Flooding
like,
the middle.
throw it up, go ahead.
Flooding
right?
the middle of the field.
The
Because
reality of it is
they love the intermediate passing game over the middle. Like that's a big part of
Love's
their
superpower as a quarterback is that dude takes hits. He's big and he stands in the pocket. He stares down the gun barrel. And his thing he does is they cut the field in half and they do big overs. And he stands in the pocket and he throws floaters across the field and the guys run and get it.
Oh my gosh!
And
There's such floaters. It's just it's crazy.
yeah, but he's doing it because half the field is empty. He just puts the ball out, and the reason he's able to do it and other guys don't is because he's standing 6'3" to the last very second, eating shots. Right? It's why he gets hurt all the time. So
Yeah, right.
I love the way, like I hate him and I hate his team, but I love the way he plays the position. Like guys, that's how the position used to be taught to be played. Goff is somewhat the same way, where these guys stand in, they're in the pocket, and then they're delivering downfield. So you have to get there. Now, that in the second game, Jordan Love is looking 17 yards downfield on a big over that requires him to be in the pocket for 5 seconds. And what happens in the second quarter?
Is that when he threw the pick?
No, that's when he got his
the
brain
concussion.
scrambled.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He stepped up in the pocket, which he is natural to do, meeting a really, really mean intent from Booker. They will not be able to stop his team on a down-to-down basis. If they do, it'll be because guys are either gotten healthier or playing at a level they haven't played all year. You're going to need to force penalties, holding calls. You're going to need to get sacks, and you're going to have to get turnovers. You're going to have to force big plays on defense. Now, they've done it in spurts, but if the Bears don't win the turnover battle by at least 2, they're going to have a hard time winning this game. Even that first game, they got turnovers and they didn't win,
The good thing is the Bears don't, knock on wood, do not really turn the ball over on offense. Okay,
correct.
Caleb has been great at protecting the ball, which has been a huge, huge asset to this team. This team leads the league in turnover differential.
By far.
So to your point, that is going to be the game. Bears defense need to get a turnover. Caleb needs to keep doing what he's doing, moving the ball down the field. Running game has to be established. And it's going to be the turnover battle. I agree.
So we'll kind of wrap up here and get ready, but I would make my prediction for the game in this way. If this game is played and it is played in kind of neutral terms, where everybody's kind of playing to their score and the levels they played to in the season, the Packers will win the game. They will most likely have a little bit of a lead. The Bears will it'll be a close game, but at the end of it, their Bears won't be able to make stops when they need it. And you'll look at something similar to kind of the first game, something like that. However, I would say that the Bears have a lot of guys that are young, and they're playing in this point for the first time. If they're able to get performances from some of these young, highly touted guys where they take a step, where they, on a big stage, so I'm talking about Caleb, I'm talking about Rome, I'm talking about Loveland, right?
Luther.
I'm talking about Monungai, Luther, right? And so on offense, right? If they're able to do that and win a shootout, but then on defense, if they're able to
Booker's
Sweat
huge.
is a veteran,
Yep.
but he's only played in one playoff game.
Booker is
They're
huge.
able to get outsized performances from some of these guys, right? They have there's more of a possible. The Packers guys are kind of their guys, right? They don't have untapped guys. This is a fully built team, right? There is still untapped potential here on some of this team. So if this goes to these guys play to their back of their baseball cards for the season, the Packers will most likely win. However, if some of these guys take another step in the playoffs, which is possible, then you're looking at something cool happening. What do you think, Dick?
Yeah, and I like that. And here's how I look at it. There's two things that I look at. I agree. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Now, my goodness, would we love it if they just blow them out? Just blow them out. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago. How incredible would that be? Soldier Field would be one giant party. That'd be amazing. We can dream. I don't think that's likely. I think what's likely is this is super close. But I'll leave you with three things. Number one, who's going to have the ball last? Because that could matter.
Yep.
And we've seen that with this Bears team, and we've seen that with Caleb Williams. If Caleb has the ball last, watch out. Number two, when it's going to be this close, when it's this razor thin, all of the projection models from all these analysts have it just razor thin, almost 50, basically 50-50. When it's that close, let's look at the incremental advantages. And an incremental advantage is home field advantage. Now, one thing I want to do, I want to put out a public service announcement to Bears fans. Bears fans, you need to listen to this. We're about to tell you something very, very important, okay? When the Bears are on offense, shut up.
Stop. Don't do it.
Be quiet. Shut up. I know you're
Bear
excited.
Fans, we are known as dumb fans in the stadium, in the league. Do not yell when the Bears have the ball.
We cannot afford to be dumb fans on Saturday. Please, I beg of you, be quiet. And when the Packers are on offense, go crazy. Be as loud as you've ever been. We need
Stand
that
up.
stadium. We need that stadium rocking the entire game. And if there's a change in the game where the Bears have something bad that happens, pick up the team, start cheering, get loud, and build the team up. But please be quiet when the Bears are on offense. That's my public service announcement. The more you know. And then number three, another incremental, very, very small advantage.
Don't sell your tickets to Packer fans.
Do not sell your tickets. Hold on to them like I'm holding on to them. Go to the game. Be quiet when you need to be quiet. Be loud when you need to be loud. But then last, incremental, the weather. It's a potential mix of snow and rain. I said incremental. Don't give me that face. I said it's a potential mix of snow and rain and wind, potential high winds, 15 to 25 miles per hour, and it's a crosswind. A crosswind in that range is when passing starts to get impacted in a real way. You just talked about Jordan Love's floaters. When you have wind like that, it knocks those things offline. We saw it in the game 3 weeks ago against the Packers. He had a ball into the end zone that got completely knocked offline by the wind. So, again, I'm not overstating it. I'm just saying it's an incremental advantage. The Bears are a running game, are a running team. So, high winds, heavy winds are going to benefit the team that focuses more on the run. What are your thoughts?
High 36, low at 22. So game time, you're probably looking in the 30s. The snow is supposed to happen earlier in the day, most
Right.
likely. So about an
It's
inch
mostly the
earlier, so you're
wind.
not looking at snow.
It's mostly the
10
wind.
to 20 miles an hour. You're not getting a weather advantage against the freaking Green Bay Packers. This isn't the Dolphins. The one advantage you would have, and this is a thing that we would hopefully will bear out in Caleb's career, is that Caleb throws straight piss missiles on a line drive
Exactly.
that cuts through wind. Jordan Love has a very good arm. Jordan Love was drafted on the strength of a very live arm. So
But he
those
throws floaters.
he's throwing, that's a technique thing. That's not because he doesn't have.
I know,
Love is
I'm not saying
capable of
that, but-
throwing through the wind, yeah.
But that's he has to throw that ball the way he plays the game most of the time. You can't throw a piss missile while you're about to get rocked by Austin Booker. It's a different style of game. And the team that emphasizes the passing game more is going to be impacted incrementally. I'm not saying materially.
So, Nick, what do you think the Bears' all-time record since 1960 in games below freezing is?
Don't know. Good question.
So there have been about 100 games, like 100, 99 games. No, they've played 95 games. The record is 46, 48, and 1 in bear weather.
Say it
Bring
again.
me the dome.
What's the number?
46, 48, and 1 in bear weather. They actually have a losing record in bear weather.
Okay.
This game will not be won or lost in weather. This game will be won or lost in 2 matchups on the offensive and defensive line. It's as simple as that. If the Bears' offensive line dominates, the Bears will win. If the Bears' defensive dominates, they're even more likely to win. It's way less likely, right? However, there is untapped youth and potential on this team that doesn't exist on the Packers. So it's very simple as that. If this game goes to where these guys all play to what we've seen, the Packers will win. If the Bears are able to get big performances from young guys upside, the Bears will win. We'll see, man. To me, the best case scenario is that you just get some crazy Caleb balling out where he announces his presence with authority on a national stage. We'll see. Nick, I'm sick about it. I can't sleep. I don't want to think about it.
Give me your score. Give me your score.
Packers 29, Bears 20.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. But Nick, what do I tell you? I think they'll lose every game.
You're gross, man. Jeez. You're disgusting.
What do you think?
Bears 31, Packers 24. Book it.
Now, Nick.
And print it.
If we get to the second round, I actually think they'll win. That's what's funny about it, right? But, man, here we are. It's a playoff podcast, a playoff season. Go ahead.
Before we sign off, I want to give some shout-outs to some of our new subscribers. First and foremost, my very good friend. He is a expat living abroad. He lives now in Belgium, Brussels, Belgium. Another international listener. Shout out to John Church. Churchy, thanks for tuning in. He's got some awesome segment ideas for us. He's been so we communicate via WhatsApp because he's international now. And so he is sending me WhatsApp messages with some great segment ideas. He would like us to introduce a call-in segment where fans can call in.
That's your department.
Which I'm happy to accommodate. I think it's a great idea. And he's got some great ideas. So thank you, John. Appreciate it, buddy. We also have some others. Chris, do you have any others that you want to shout out?
The CEO of my company followed the show yesterday. So David, what's up, man? Let's go Bears.
Appreciate it, David. I have Tim, my HVAC guy. He came and fixed the HVAC. He fixed our system, our furnace, and our humidifier. Did an awesome job. So shout out to Tim. He is now following the pod, and he has his own pod, and it is called Kid Hurricane. So everyone give Kid Hurricane on YouTube. It's a music podcast, and he is an EDM aficionado, and he is all about house music. So give them a follow. I'm looking through our list. Lisa, thank you for subscribing, Lisa. Appreciate it. Jeremy, my law partner, thanks for subscribing, my friend. We'll see you at the game at the tailgate. Terry, thank you for subscribing. Chris, any others?
We started the YouTube show with like 11 listens or views, and now we've crossed like right around 20,000. So that's pretty
awesome.
Cool. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I will also say, Nick, and I don't think we've discussed it, but I'll just commit to it without going to. But whatever happens this week, Bearapy Sessions will not be going away. I think we'll be following the playoffs. Correct? We'll be reviewing the season.
We'll be reviewing. We'll do off season.
Yeah, there will be news immediately just with coaches and staff. And then we'll probably move to a schedule of maybe once or twice a month going through draft stuff, combine stuff, free agency. I'm guessing the lightest schedule would be like May and June, kind of following the NFL schedule. And then before you know it, man, it'll be camp in July, and we'll be giving you breakdowns of who is intercepting guys in 7-on-7.
Yeah, so stay tuned. But we're not ready for that yet. The end is not nigh. Okay, we got 5 more weeks.
I had to explain to my son Frankie the concept of playoffs, right, and the stakes of it. And he says, well, what if we win? I go, we get to play next week. And he goes, what if we lose? And I go, then it's over. He goes, I don't want it to be over. So
I'm
let's
with you,
see. Let's
Frankie.
go, Bears. Keep it
We're
going.
with you. Yep. Keep it rolling. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Bears.